This film totally rocks. And it's in my top 10 of the year so far. So let's talk about We Summon the Darkness. So We Summon the Darkness is about a group of 3 friends who go on a road trip to a heavy metal show. Rock on, dude. And at the show, they befriend a group of 3 men, bring the men back to basically where they're staying. In the background of a few scenes leading up to the metal show, you hear about a cult committing murders and a church basically saying, repent your sins and come join us. The 2 groups of friends meet up at the house. Crazy stuff begins to happen, and that's all I'm going to say, because I didn't really know much about this. I just saw the cast and the posters, which are amazing, and I went, I'll watch it. So I went in completely blind, and I think that really helps this movie, not knowing a lot about it. Well, I think that helps all films in general. We Summon the Darkness stars Alexandria Daddario, who I love. I think she's wonderful. Kian Johnson, Maddie Hasten, who is fantastic. Amy Forsyth, who I think is great. I loved her in Channel Zero. I loved her in Hellfest. She's also really great in this. Logan Miller and Austin Swift, and surprisingly Johnny Knoxville, which a lot of people just, see Johnny Knoxville as, oh, he's the guy from Jackass, which is fine, but I think he can actually act. He's not like Oscar worthy, but I think he's better than a lot of people give him credit for. And I really like this movie quite a bit. I like all the leads, the males, the females. And the chemistry between both groups are really wonderful. They actually, feel like friends. But the female group of 3 is lead characters through and through. They're the focal point of the film. And I like that all 3 have completely different personalities, which really helps. They're all their own character. Because, in certain films, like when there's like groups, like a few of the characters are basically the same character melded into one. It kind of doesn't work all the time, but in this, all 3 characters feel unique. They all are their own personality, their own being, and I dug it. Same for the boys. They're all their own personality, and I dug it. The whole cast is good. Dario is great, Forsyth's great. They're all great. They're all really good performances. This movie had me laughing a bit, because this is like a dark comedy in a weird way, which is good. It takes a lot to make me laugh. I'm not really a humorous type of person, I guess you could say. I don't laugh often. I find a lot of stuff funny, but it doesn't get me to laugh out loud, like haha, or like chuckle. This got me to laugh out loud a few times, which is always 2 thumbs up. For the most part, this film takes place at the house, the location, which I love films that take place in a singular location because I think they're extremely difficult to pull off, especially when you're in one location. You have to make the shots look unique every time. You have to make the place, if you don't want it to look condensed, you have to make it look like a huge area, even though it's not. Or if you want to make a huge area look small, you have to film it like that. Like, I love films like Crawl, Frozen, the Adam Green movie, not the Disney movie, freaking Evil Dead, all of them. Don't Breathe. I'm a sucker for like one location movies, and this does it well. The house constantly looks like it's like, I don't want to say it's shifting because it's not like a Lovecraftian, like, oh, impossible space type movie, but the way it's shot, it kind of feels like you're always looking at something new, which is great. You want that in a singular location film. This film has a killer soundtrack. I grew up on rock and roll because of my dad. I listened to all types of rock and roll growing up. I still bump classical rock music. I still bump heavy metal sometimes. I still bump R&B. So a heavy metal and a rock soundtrack, I'm all for it. And this has a killer soundtrack. It ranges from like soft metal to hardcore, and I dig it. Good job. Because you don't want your whole soundtrack to sound the same throughout. It doesn't have to be just strictly one genre, and this does it. It sprinkles it through here and there. Great work, composer. Great work. The twist, I'm a huge fan of. Because when you've seen as many movies as I've had, your brain can kind of like piece together what's going to happen here and there, where the film's going to go. I didn't see the twist coming. When the clues start coming out, I kind of figured it out. Which you're supposed to be thinking the whole time for a film like this, and thrillers and all that good stuff, so it works. I dug the twist. I don't think I've seen a film use it before, because a lot of films have like recycled twists, because movies have been and stories have been being told since the dawn of mankind, so it's kind of hard to create something new and fresh. So kudos to them. Good stuff. Johnny Knoxville. I really like him in this. He's not in it much. Just preface that right now. He's not in this film a lot. I would say he has like 5 to 10 minutes of screen time, maybe 15 at the most. But what he does with it is what counts, and I think he nails the role. I think he's really good in this. I don't want to spoil nothing, but I need to see him in a role like this once again, but have him more fleshed out, have him more on screen, because he good stuff, Johnny Depp. Oh wow, Johnny Depp, holy god. Brain's thinking about Tusk, Johnny Knoxville, Jackass, Free Action Point, Bad Grandpa, good stuff. Which is a shame because I really dug the film tug. I don't like the ending. The ending is fine. It's serviceable. It's not a bad ending by any means. But for me personally, I don't like it because you have a film that takes risks and does some really not goofy, but does some really different things, and the ending is just, I don't like the word cliche because, everything today is cliche, but it's a very by the numbers standard ending. And while watching it, I kind of went to myself around like the hour mark that I went, okay, this is how the film's going to end. And it ended that way. And I was hoping that they would throw me a sick little curveball and blow me away. But I understand why they went with the ending they did. And it works. But for me personally, I wanted something a little fresh and new, I guess you could say. That's my only real major gripe is the ending. And I would have liked to spend a little more time with the characters before shit hits the fan. But that's just me because I'm the sucker for character moments. So this isn't filmmaking critique off the actual film itself. It's just my own personal ones. So that's not to knock the film by any means. It's just how I am and how I like my movies. And that's the best part about opinions. We all have them. But yeah, we summoned the darkness. Great cast. Great music. Good twist. Film looks good. Well shot. Just a okay ending. And a kinda okay cliche story. But I really dug it. The posters for this are amazing. It harkens back to old school horror movies from the 70s and the 90s. So we summoned the darkness. It's 100% worth a watch. But like always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.